Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Crimson and I am here with another update video to the beginner program video. I don't know how many of these I'm gonna make, but we ballin' anyways, so I'm gonna not waste any of your time. Let's just get straight into it. What the program is going to do is scan the target network, bypass the firewall, and then scan the rest of the devices before proceeding to hack into them and clearing the device logs, then head back home. Now, before you start commenting about when you first started using it and something went wrong, let me get some disclaimers out of the way. First, for this to work effectively, you need to have the library exploits and/or firewall exploits for the network you're using it on. Second, the program speed depends on your system. And finally, if any update occurs for the game and it doesn't make it work, do not worry, as someone would have already either told me or there is already a video in progress to fix it. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get into this. Alright, so let's go ahead and get ourselves a new template going. We're gonna do the end. Now, for starters, what we're gonna do is go ahead and grab ourselves a scan block, connecting next to the run. And for network, we're gonna scroll back up to target IP. Connect IP to network. Target, don't really need it. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to get the fail out of the way, because apparently it's always needed. Fail to the end, but on success, we're going to move on to an if statement. So once it's already scanned, it's going to move into this if statement. What will be in this if statement? Well, it is going to be checking if it has a firewall. So it has firewall. Bool goes to condition, IP to IP. So it's going to scan first and then check to see if it has a firewall. If true, what we're going to do is move into a second if statement, because now we need to check to see if we can bypass that firewall. Bool to condition, IP to IP. So if we can bypass it, what we're going to do is grab ourselves a bypass block, true to run, IP to IP. So upon success, we'll deal with that. But upon fail, however, we're just going to add an end. Usually it doesn't fail, but I guess the code just prefers it that way in case something goes wrong. Now, if we cannot bypass it, however, same thing, we're just going to connect the false to the end, because there's really not much you can do. Now, what we're going to do next is, upon success of the bypass, or if there is no firewall, we're going to go ahead and move to said network. So we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a move on success and on a false. IP to IP. So for right now, we're just going to connect both the success and the fail to the end. We're going to be making sure that this runs smoothly, and also so that we can save. So I'm going to just call this tutorialware, as usual. Save. Now we're going to move here, scan for some networks. Probably not that one for now. We'll just delete that. Okay, I guess it's just not going to give us a favorable one for testing. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we finally got some that are favorable for testing. So we're going to use this residential here. Programs, whatever you called it, for this one tutorialware. And boom. It worked perfectly how we wanted it. It scanned the network where there wasn't really a firewall. It just moved on to the move. We got information as well, so it is working just fine. So we're gonna we're gonna click on the success box, and now what we're gonna do is, since we're on the network now, we're going to scan all. Yes, we're doing a second scan. This one will be for the devices. So we'll go ahead and go over to the list, device list, connect it to scan all. And what we're actually going to do, instead of using this one, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a current IP. Because now that we're on the network, we can use current IP, connect it to the devices list, and then also connect it to the scan all. So what this will do is it will scan all the devices on said network. Upon fail, it'll just end. But upon success, we're going to move on to the for each statement. Now, we're also going to connect the device list to device list, well, to list. So now here's how things get a little more complicated, but I'm sure you can keep up. So from here, what we're going to do is scroll down to the libraries. What this block will do, when I connect it, is scan for the libraries that the device uses. What this for each is doing is going between all the devices on said network. We're going to connect current IP to the network. So with that, this time for the on fail, what we're going to do is grab a continue instead. Now the difference between the end and the continue is the end will just straight up end the program. However, continue will have it continue to the next part of, well, to the next on the list. So for instance, if you can't get into the router, what it will do is just move on to the next device. Like let's say it's just a smartphone. So that's what a continue will do until everything in the list is done. So we're gonna go ahead on success for the libraries. We're gonna do an if statement. This if statement will be to see if we have a valid library to use. Essentially a library that we can use to hack into the system. Bool to condition, item to device, network from current IP. Now with that, if we do have a valid library, what we're going to do is hack into the system. So we're going to go ahead, hack, true, devices, we're going to add the item from for each to device, network from current IP, and now for library number, what we're going to do is scroll back up to here, and we're going to grab best library. What this will do is use the best library for the device, IP to network, item to device. We all keeping up? Awesome. So now we're going to get a little more complicated. First off, this if statement's false, which if there is no valid libraries, it'll just continue to the next device. What we're going to do now for the hack is upon fail, it's just going to continue. We're going to bring this continue down here so that we can keep using it. But upon success, what we're going to do is try to log in. So we're going to head over here, log in, upon success. The target is going to be the item to device. Access code to code, current IP, all the way to network. Now, of course, for current IP, you can just grab another IP block. I'm just doing this to keep the blocks from constantly being used. But anyways, we're just going to condense this down a bit. Upon success of login, what we're going to move on to is another if statement. If the target has coins, we're just going to add the bool to condition, item to device, and then of course current IP to network. If it does have coin, we're going to go ahead and withdraw the coins. So true, devices, of course, back all the way to item, network from current IP, which I might actually have to grab myself another current IP. Here we go. Current IP. There you go. Upon false, of course, continue. If there's no RC on the device, it'll just continue on to the next device. We're also going to do the same thing for the login. If the login just failed, just continue. So what it will do now is it will withdraw all the coins from there. And if it just can't do it, it will just continue. We're going to be using this continue a lot for this. So we're going to move it here. So now, with everything withdrawed, what we want to do now is wipe the logs. So, oh, not network logs, device logs. Run that. It'll be item to device, network. Here it is. Network, current IP. We're just going to wipe the logs. Success or fail, we're just going to continue. So, continue. Success or fail, it's just going to move on. Now with that done, we're going to head all the way back over to the for each. For the done here, what we're just going to do is do a move statement. Move, and where we're going to move to is back home. So, home network, there we go. And upon success or fail is just going to end the program. Boom and boom. So, click save. And now we're going to test it to make sure everything works. So we're going to scan for new networks. Here we go. This will suffice. And test tutorialware. We're going to head over to the terminal, make sure everything is working just fine. Let it do its thing. So it got into the router despite it saying login failed. Yep, it got into the network. And let's see here. Both of those were guessed, so it didn't have a valid library, so it just ended and moved back home. So there we go. It works. Pretty basic. It works. And it gets the job done. This is what I typically use right now. Of course, I could always make a better program, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But anyways, well, that is how you can put the program together. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. I do look and respond to my comments, and if I don't have an answer, someone will either answer you through the comments or the official Cybernet Discord. Also, join my Discord. I post leaks, video uploads, and more there. We are so close to 50 members in total, and I want to hit 100 members by the end of the year. So you will make a difference by joining. Anyways, that's all I have for you. Make sure you like and subscribe, or I will find you and come give you a spike crimson. Bye now.